Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Me and Jenica just had something kind of scary happen. Um, okay, so hopefully this works because we're kind of out in the boonies, but it says that we have signal. Um, jeez. Okay, so we were just going on a drive.
Should we wait till there's people?
Yeah, I'll give it just a little bit of time, but I'll just repeat it again
Okay.
if we need to. Hopefully someone will join. Okay, we got like 4 people right now. Oh my gosh. There's Jenica right there.
Hi.
So,
Boom first. Good evening. Oh, boom.
Haystack says boom first. Bethany Gonzalez, hi, or good evening. And then Heidi Gentry says hi, Jared. Okay, we got 46 people. Oh, that went up really fast. Okay. So, it's been a busy day for me. You know, I had the 2 videos that I put out, had the interview with Rabbi Gerfine, and after that, we went to Wichita, had to get some stuff for the girls. Girls camp that's coming up. Came home, you know, and I was just kind of like relax, be on the computer and do some stuff, and you know, just we were like relaxing, and then the girls wanted us to go on a drive because they wanted to get on the computer, and I wasn't really feeling like it, but we went on a drive anyway, and that's what we're doing right now. And as we were driving east of town, we were just like driving, talking about stuff, and then I looked to my left. So this would have been like to the north and west. That was like the direction that it came. There was this solid, like a solid, bright amber light that was
flying
it was
through
like,
the air.
Yeah, it was just like streaking through the air across the sky. I uploaded, like, I can't show you here, but like I'm uploading the short right now, so maybe go look at it after this live. Sorry, I'm still scared. We were like in the middle of conversation, and I noticed this light in this like really long trail of smoke, but the altitude could not have been more than like 1,000 to 1,500 feet, something like that. It was pretty low, and it was going kind of slow, and it was like illuminating the smoke trail behind it. You know, like the smoke trail was very visible as it was going by. So from what I could tell, it was not like a very high altitude object. There was no boom. The light was like a solid light. There was no fluctuating or anything like that. Because like we've seen, you know, meteors before, and usually like from my experience, there's been a lot of just like you'll see like a good sized meteor every now and then, and you know it'll come down and it'll be kind of like a little bit there's like fluctuation as it's like entering the atmosphere or whatever the case may be. But this one was very solid. There was no blinking because, you know, with aircraft, you typically have the lights that are required. Like on the right side of the aircraft, you have a green light. On the left side, you have a red light. That way that, you know, at nighttime, if you're flying VFR, which is, well, no, at nighttime you can't fly VFR. You're flying IFR, I think. But anyway, at nighttime, so you can visually, you know, scan the horizon for other aircraft, and you can see which way they're going in relation to you. So anyway, the fact of the matter was there were no blinking lights. There was no red or green light. It didn't. Really long tail. Really long tail. It didn't look like landing lights, and I basically just don't know what I saw. I guess my best guess a meteor, I guess. It's just I've never seen a meteor like that before. When I saw it, the reason why I'm scared is because we were in the middle of conversation, and all of a sudden it entered my field of view, like my peripheral view from the left side, and I was just like, what? And then I like looked at it and I was like, what is that? And it kind of like, it's like time slowed down, and my mind was like processing what was going on, and we stopped the car, and then I was like, get the phone and get the camera out, because we got to get this. And thankfully we did. We got about, I think it was like 44 seconds of footage. And so so I recorded it, and as like things started to like dawn on me, my best guess at that moment is that it was a meteor. But
That's what I thought it was.
huh?
I thought it was an airplane on fire. That was my best guess.
Yeah, and I could have like potentially seen that too. But the thing is that even at nighttime, I imagine that the smoke would have been visibly black. I'm not. I don't know. The smoke is no longer anywhere to be seen. Um,
And
But
neither
in-
is a crash site.
huh?
And neither is a crash site.
Well, yeah, neither is a crash site. Like, look, we're in Kansas. There's no mountains, there's no hills where we're at, and we would definitely see smoke rising from where we're at. I'm pretty sure. So, only one big, solid amber light. Long, defined smoke trail. Okay, like kind of like a tight, almost looking like a contrail. But the thing about that is that if I remember back to my aviation days, contrails typically aren't possible, except for like at higher elevations, because normally there's kind of like two ways that they're formed. One way is aerodynamically, as the aircraft is flying through the air, differences in pressure and stuff like it. Anyway, I'm not going to explain that. The other way, because I can't remember it that well, but the other way is that when you have a jet engine, it is expelling, particles out the backside, which if there's moisture in the surrounding air and the temperature is cold to where the moisture will condense, then the aircraft is providing the particles, because like even if it's cold enough for water to condense into water droplets, there typically has to be a particle that the water attaches to. And so that's why you'll see, like with jet planes, a contrail, but it's usually at like high up altitudes. Like, have you ever seen a contrail, like a long contrail at low altitudes? And I say again, I feel pretty certain that this couldn't have been more than 1,500 feet above ground level. Okay, I don't know what what we're at as far as like sea level here, like, but above ground level where we're at, it couldn't have been more than 1,500 feet. So it was moving from like a northwest to a southeast. That was like the direction that it was taking. Again, no like flashing weather from artificial lights, or if it was a meteor, I'm accustomed to seeing it kind of like flare, like as it's like entering the atmosphere, kind of goes like, and whatever. As I was like thinking about the possibility that it was like a crop duster, because that's the only plane that would be flying around here. As far as I know, there's no crop dusting done at nighttime, and every time I've seen a crop duster do its work, it'll like go over a field and like drop its altitude down and kind of like go right above the field. It doesn't like drop it from the pesticide and whatever from very high up. It's like usually relatively close to the ground. So, and on top of that, I don't think that a crop duster would have just like that bright and solid of a light. It would still have, I assume, I'm no expert in like farming aviation, but I would assume that it would still have the required green and red lights on the wings, Um, and then the thing that doesn't make sense if it was a man-made aircraft is that it seemed like the light from this object was illuminating the the smoke behind it. You know what I mean? Because if it was like landing lights, for example, landing lights point forward. They wouldn't illuminate, at least not very well, any contrail or any sort of smoke or anything going out the back. So it's as though whatever we were seeing was lit from all around, 360. So anyway, as it was dawning on me, and my best guess was that it was a meteor, it scared the heck out of me because I realized that if it was one that was kind of like the Chelyabinsk meteor in Russia, there would probably be an explosion. Or if it was like the one in Utah or the one that happened recently in Israel, I assumed that the way that it looked, like so big in such a long trail, that most likely there was going to be an explosion or something. So I was like, I was bracing for that, and it left me feeling like I still kind of have a little bit of adrenaline in my system. But my gosh, what? Andrea Packard said, "Hey, Stacy just saw it over Tulsa, Oklahoma."
What?
What?
No.
So maybe it was a really high altitude. What the heck? Yeah, there was no sound. Okay, let me see. Let me just go through the things here. What did you see? No idea. Gracie, peace. Bethany Gonzalez, hi. Jewel H, this is the first live chat I've caught live.
A good
Great.
one to catch.
Yeah, good one to catch. I typically don't do them at this time of night. Linda R, hello. Jenny Williams, hi guys. Jewel H, live. Nancy D, evening. Fahina Higby, hi guys. Shay Goodwin, aloha. Kay Paculi, 47 here, laugh out loud. Anthony Nay, message retracted. Bethany Gonzalez, the interview was great, by the way. Oh, good. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. There will be more to come. Bethany, yikes. Marie Wheeler, hello from the painted desert of the Navajo Nation. Awesome. I was watching your podcast with the rabbi, and then I was notified of your live cast. You're catching this news as it's happening, and I'm like, is there going to be like another one? Anthony, I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. That's like from that meme with the guy from Ancient Aliens. I've seen that.
Oh.
Mike Lewis, Worlds Without Number, pilgrims from other worlds visiting the Savior's homeworld. If that was like an extraterrestrial craft, why was it spewing some kind of gas or smoke behind it? Aaron Pena, did you try and follow it? Well, there really was no following it because, well, we tried to we continue to go forward because when you watch the video, the short that I posted, you'll see that there's like trees in the way because we were in like a little bit of a dip, and so we got in the car, we kept going, and it wasn't long until like we could see the entire horizon, but by that point it was gone. Andrea Packard, possibly an Elon Musk rocket of some kind. That could be. I mean, I don't know. My perspective could have been off, but it really seemed like the smoke, looking at the smoke, it seemed like the smoke was pretty low. Twin Angels, what we see, family. You can see it with your own eyes on the video that I just posted. Go to my shorts. Maverick, strobes and rotating beacons are required by airliners to operate at night, according to FAA. Yeah, it didn't have any of the typical lights that you typically see with an airline or any sort of aircraft at night. There was no red or green lights to indicate the direction of travel. There was no blinking light. There was no military, because like the military aircraft at night, they have like a different type of blinking light. I would see it all the time at Fort Hood, now Fort Cavazos, and when we lived in Phoenix, you have Luke Air Force Base in the West Valley, and you see them training all the time at night, and you get to be familiar with the nighttime blinking pattern of military aircraft, and it was not that. Aaron Pena, do any of your dreams lately correspond to seeing this? No, they don't. Latter Day Help, interesting. Nancy D. Then can you see if PTHERs reported it? I don't know what that is. I know that there is the American Meteorological, or the American Meteor Society. I can't remember what they're called, where you can like self-report that you saw a meteor. So I'll probably do that. I've shown that from time to time on the channel. I might send this video into what's his name, Mr. MBB333. He's the one that's like really big on watching stuff in the sky. I don't know if he would put it on his channel, but I'll send it to him. Stacy Sterling, I just watched it go over the Tulsa area, very low. Yes.
What?
Yes. I don't know if it's like the same object or if they're like two objects that are going like in a parallel on a parallel course, but from where I'm at in South Central Kansas, going, because like Tulsa is it is southeast of where I'm at. It's more east than it is south. But Stacy, do you remember the direction of travel? The Hay-Belt Fireball. A fireball is an unusually bright meteor that reaches a visual magnitude of 3 or brighter when seen at the observer's zenith. Okay, so maybe that's what it was. And of course, a fireball is like it's a meteor. I've just never seen I've never seen something that long. The smoke trail on that was long. It was crazy. Maverick, you're not describing anything airline or airplane. Was there? No, and there was no sound to it. That's the other thing. There was no sound. So maybe it was a fireball. Maybe it was a meteor. I've never seen a meteor like that. The meteors that I have seen, usually like they're green, kind of like a greenish color, and they come down and it looks like a firework, but it's like very short-lived. I did see a meteor. It was late last year, and it was white in color, and it was going like parallel to the horizon, but it was like very short-lived, and I don't remember seeing a smoke trail behind it. If anyone could find if like fireballs typically have smoke trails, I'd be interested to know that. Stacy Sterling, yes, I'm guessing 1,000 to 1,500 feet as it went over me. Oh my gosh. Miss Chef Yoda, good evening. Stacy Sterling, no sound. Becca, dang, we never see anything cool in Alberta. Wish I were there. Yeah, well, it's my time finally. I've been waiting all my life to see some cool thing, and it's never happened. When we were in Phoenix, my wife and the girls, they saw one of the like satellite trains going by, and they're like, "Dad, it's a UFO!" And I ran out there. I think I was taking a shower, or I don't know what was going on, but I missed it, and I was very sad. Twin Angels, Stars Are Angry. Yeah, that one kind of looked, it was at least getting angry. It was like orange, not quite red yet. Maverick, definitely not airplane. Yeah, I don't think it was an airplane. Donna Crimmins, you saw a UFO. Well, it was definitely unidentified. I'm not so sure it was extraterrestrial in nature because, again, if it was like some interdimensional extraterrestrial craft, why would it be leaving that trail of smoke unless it was like damaged or something like that? I don't know how spaceships work, but okay. D. Ward Jared, I was just thinking today, in all the places that people are hearing those unexplained horn sounds, I wonder if there are temples with the Angel Moroni in those areas. That would be interesting. Let's get prepared. Meteor was seen today in Australia. Maverick, rocket, or meteor? Maybe. I tend to think, if I had to guess, I would guess that it's probably a fireball. It seemed like it was natural, like a natural, what?
Nothing.
Oh, like it was a natural occurrence. It didn't seem like it was, to me, it didn't seem like it was man-made. Talked on the Blaze today. The haystack. A fireball is an unusually bright meteor that reaches a vision. Okay, you did that already. Stacy's showing no. It looked just like you explained. Wow, just wow. Yeah, seriously. Terry Miller, hi from far west Utah. Fahina, I think if it was a meteor, it would have had a sonic boom. It land for miles. Well, I'm not so sure that they all explode. From what I've read and studied, it seems like when a meteor enters the atmosphere, there's kind of like an initial explosion, because at that point there's all the friction, heat, pressure, and so it explodes. And then after that, you have like the parts that survive that, you know, if they're large enough, they make it to the ground. You know, I don't think that they necessarily always have to explode. In fact, thinking back to the videos that I did about exploding meteors, I think it's more on the uncommon side that they explode and leave like a boom. Oh my gosh. Michelle Tyler, whoa, Murray, Utah, from my hometown. Andrea, Stacy said it seemed to be 1,000 to 1,500. Yep. No, well, that's hard to say if I thought it was losing altitude, because I couldn't really. It's not possible for me to really say. It seemed like it was going pretty straight, pretty parallel to the ground, but there could have been like a slight angle to its vector, its path, you know. Matthew Hessler, wow, a miracle perhaps, or manifestation of power. Yeah, it could be. We were talking about something, and I feel like it could have been like possibly a sign for us, but like obviously, just like how you have natural disasters or storms or whatever, you know, that other people see, it could be a sign for other people, or, you know, maybe not a sign for other people, but certain people, like Stacy and me, maybe will probably take it. Well, I definitely take it as a sign for us. I'm sure Stacy probably does for her as well, maybe. Stacy Sterling, I'm gonna guess it was the craziest and lowest meteor I've ever seen. Yeah, it was for me for sure. I can't believe how how steady it was. It was just like so steady. It didn't seem like it was dimming. Like I said, there was no like fluctuation really in the light, because I feel like with other meteors that I've seen, you see kind of like a fluctuation. With this, it just seemed like very solid, to the point where I was like, is that an aircraft? Like a really bright light? Because it just seems so solid and so unwavering. Oh gosh, it was so weird. Snowy Range, I just watched your short video. Could it have been a falling satellite? For all I know, who knows? Maybe. I don't know what a falling satellite looks like. Again, even though it's dark, okay, even though it's dark, this thing, I feel like it was lit up enough, and the smoke was lit up enough to where I could get a pretty good feel for how high up it was above the ground. It did not seem that, because like I would imagine that a satellite would probably burn up really high, you know, probably higher than 60,000 feet. I don't know typically when that kind of thing occurs, when something's re-entering the atmosphere, but I don't think that it would happen as low as like 1,500 feet, if my observation is correct. But Stacy said that it seemed right to her, so I don't know. So yeah, Stacy says southeast. It must have been the same thing. Maybe the elevation was higher, but there's no way. Okay, so if it was, okay, let me think. if it was at 1,500 feet above ground level, I mean, because Tulsa's quite a ways from here. It takes like, I think about 4 hours from where I'm at to get to Tulsa. But of course, this is going in a straight line. But I'm not sure that it didn't seem like it was going like that fast. But it most likely it probably was the same exact thing that Stacy saw. Electric Tech Adventures. I watched the short. My guess is that it's a meteor, and the tail was illuminated up because at that height the sun was still shining on it. Well, that's a possibility. If that's the case, then that would have had to have been really high up for that to happen. I'm gonna have to go on the American Meteor Society website, and I'm sure people have already reported it. Terranar, it's still dusk here in Utah, but I want to watch the sky now when it gets dark. Well, I'm not promising anything. So far, nothing else has like gone across the sky here, but I'll cross my fingers for you.
Could the moon have been illuminating the tail?
The moon, yeah, the moon could have been illuminating the tail. I was just like surprised at like how bright and how well lit the tail was, or the trail of smoke.
Yeah.
You know, we're not really talking about a comet, so I guess you would just call it a trail of smoke. Chloe Woods, I just watched the short and it looked like a meteor that had to be big for it to burn that long and that far. Yeah, it had to have been. So maybe it was really high up, and maybe the smoke trail was lit up by the sun, like he said, and maybe that would explain how it got so fast from right here to Tulsa, because it seems like that would have gone pretty quick. El Paculi, or Hymarcelius 71C. El Paculi, Jared, I saw around 5:30 a.m. a month ago a bright white light over the Meridian, Idaho area, possibly over the Temple area. Thought it may be a drone. Way too big for that. Did you catch it on video? That's really cool though. Nick A. Bacher, I saw it too. It had a long time. You saw it too? Where were you at, Nick A. Bacher? Jeez. That was like a really intense thing. I have never seen a meteor of that intensity before, and I'm just thankful, so thankful that it wasn't like the Chelyabinsk meteor, because that meteor was terrifying. It had the explosive yield of a nuclear device, of several nuclear devices, and it caused damage on the ground. It was really loud. Even when you watch the videos, it was just so terrifyingly loud, and that's what got me scared. As it started to dawn on me, this is probably a meteor, and oh my gosh, it's still going. Maybe it's like getting really close to exploding. It was, oh my gosh, it was kind of scary. Can't see what you see. I'm in northern Arizona. Minor Prophet, Ian Malcolm, maybe satellite burning up. Since I'm not an expert, yeah, who knows? Maybe. But that, if it was a satellite, that was probably a pretty dang big satellite. Terry Miller, we already had one here. When it crashed, we thought it was loud thunder. Stacy says, it had a very long trail that covered my field of view. The object was very orange. Yes. Yeah. That was like the thing that first stood out to me, as I was just like, that is a long freaking trail of smoke. Because yeah, it did go, because it came from my peripheral view, which was basically the horizon that I could, as far as I could see. Again, I was kind of like in a dip. But yeah, it went from my point of view, from hilltop to hilltop, which it was a pretty wide area, so it was long. Um, Fahina Higby, just watch your short. I showed my husband, and we both agree it's probably a meteor. Okay, Andrea asked where. Nick A. Bacher in Northwest Florida. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, so this was probably a really high altitude meteor. Gosh, I want to know if like other people, well, obviously other people saw it, you guys saw it, a couple of you. I hope that this makes like some kind of news, but because there was no boom or anything like that, I don't think it would be newsworthy unless it was an artificial object. If like something went wrong in space with something like the International Space Station or something like that, it probably won't make the news. But I'm sure that when I look this up, I'm probably not going to do it tonight because it's late here. But tomorrow I'm going to look it up and just and I'll report it to you. I'll put in my own report. I'm going to check the American Meteor Society, and there must be many other people that saw it too. If there was like 3 of us in this small little chat, 147 people, then obviously more people saw it. Miss Chef Yoda, I didn't think that meteors have that long. I don't think meteors have that long of a contrail. I don't know. My experience with meteors is limited. I have seen a number of them in my life. Typically it's like the very small little, just like during like meteor showers, and then sometimes there's larger ones, and they kind of look like fireworks, like if you took one of the little ball flames from a aerial firework, and then it looks like that. Those up until today. Those were the largest that I had ever seen. This one blew those away, both in size, and then whenever I've seen any other meteor, in my experience, I've never seen a trail go along with it. The Chelyabinsk meteor in Russia had a trail, had a long trail, and I've seen videos of other fireballs where the tail is pretty long. I don't know if it's just because it's me and it's here in person, and I was outside when it happened, but the trail looked really long. Jeez. So me, Nick, and Stacy. Okay. Fahina, it was probably huge. The haystack objects causing fireball events can exceed 1 meter in size. Must be unscheduled space okay. Objects causing fireball events can exceed 1 meter in size. Must be unscheduled space debris burn up. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Nick A. Bacher, it was moving slow. Yeah, from our point of view too. It looked like it was just like, yeah, to the point where when I very, very first saw it, I honestly thought, is that a plane? Like, that plane seems to be flying really low, like that bright of aviation lights. That's really low for a plane, and it's going pretty slow. I wondered if it was like a crop duster or something like that. And my estimate, my perspective must have been off, because if it was seen in Florida, obviously it must have been really high. It must have been a really high elevation. Marcelo 71C, wait till JC come to Earth, brighter than the sun. Yeah, I'd be happy if that happened right now. Can we have that happen? Twin Angels, I think the Lord purposely helping your channel. He's trying to help me recover from the polygamy video that upset a lot of people. Andrea Packard, Nick A. Bacher just saw it over Northwest Florida. DC-10, that seemed pretty slow for a meteor. Yeah, it did. The only explanation is if it was a meteor, and I can't think of any other thing other than an artificial um, object, like a satellite. Even then, I feel like it would have had to have been really high to appear to be going that slow. In reality, of course, if you went up to the elevation that it was at, it was probably moving pretty fast, but because of perspective, it probably looked slow. But I swear on my life that I really, when I got out of the car, it looked like it was in Kansas airspace. That's what it looked like. It looked like it was literally, I kid you not, it looked like it was only 1,500 feet up. That's what it looked like.
I thought it could have been from the airport, maybe over
What,
here.
second?
I thought we have an airport just whatever direction that is, just over here
Northwest,
and
yeah.
northwest of us, and I really thought it could be one of those small little airplanes and just on fire.
Yeah, well, see, and it didn't add up to me after that split second when I did think it was an airplane. I realized no, because the light is too bright. It's too bright
Yeah.
for landing lights, and it's too bright in not the right color really to match really any aviation light that I've ever seen. Okay, Miss Chef Yoda, this is the only thing I found on any rocket launches. May 31st, a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket will launch another batch of Starlink satellites from... What? Oh gosh, something.
What?
Nothing. It must have just been the light. It must have been the way the light from the screen is hitting my eye. It felt like it was there was a glow all of a sudden. Oh my gosh, it's an intense night. Vandenberg Space Force Base, California, between 1:27 to 3:15 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Yeah, so maybe... So, if it was a rocket taking off, would it cause that really bright light? That amber color? Would it look like... I don't know.
She said the 31st. Today's only the 30th.
Well, no, maybe, what if they're doing, a couple launches? I'm just playing with the idea. What if that was, I don't know, an initial launch of something, and then that's, part 2 or something like that. Nick A. Bacher, my mouth was wide open. I was just in disbelief as to how slow it was moving. I caught the tail end on my phone. Good. Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of videos of it. I'm going to put it on TikTok. Now it's on YouTube as a short. I'm going to share it on my personal, Facebook page and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. I'm so glad that we went on a drive, because I was getting ready to put up a fight with my daughter. No, we're not going to go. It's too late. And Mom and Dad we want to go to sleep. And so I'm glad. I guess I owe my daughter an ice cream or something like that. CO2MC number 26. I don't think it was SpaceX that was being launched in Florida. Oh yeah, because because this came from Kansas. It came from... The direction was from northwest to southeast. So northwest of us is part of Colorado, Idaho, Idaho, Wyoming. You could even argue part of Utah. So I don't know. Melissa Liebert, is there a planetarium close by that can confirm what you saw maybe? I don't think so. Well, there is in Hutchinson, which is west of Wichita. They have some kind of... I think it's a planetarium. It's some kind of aerospace museum. But it seems like they have space exhibits. So I don't know. Amanda Thomas, I saw a fireball once. It was cool. I didn't see this one, so I can't say it was the same thing. The one I saw was quick. It just streaked across the west sky. Yeah, this one was it was a pretty long-term event, relatively speaking, relative to other meteors that I've seen, videos that I've seen. I mean, the short, if I remember right, the short that I took was 44 seconds. And before I started filming, there would have been, I don't know, maybe like 5 to 10 more seconds at least on top of that. So this is something that was, I guess I would estimate that it was at least like about a minute in length. That's a long duration fireball. That's something I'm going to have to look up too. Is that normal for a fireball to last that long? I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up. Rex LZ here in South Mississippi, we had something come over with a loud boom just over 30 minutes ago.
What?
Oh, I wonder if it's the same thing. I wonder if it was from here in Kansas, if it was like re-entering. Well, no one's okay. We can't say it's re-entering because it may not be from Earth, but it was entering the atmosphere, at least by Kansas. And so maybe at that time, what we saw, maybe it was like burning up, like it was entering the atmosphere, and then maybe it wasn't until Mississippi that it exploded, because Mississippi, from where I'm at here in Kansas, it is southeast of Kansas.
I have to go sit down. My knees are hurting.
Okay, I'll try and finish. I'm going to go in just a little bit here. Oh my gosh. I still a little bit have adrenaline in my system, just a little bit. Michelle Tyler, Dragon X is scheduled to splash down at 11:05 p.m., but that doesn't seem right. Well, unless it exploded. What time is it right now? Okay, here in Central Time, it's 11:07. So are you talking Central Time, Michelle Tyler? Marcelo71C, the angels are restless, smiley face. Don McCrimmons, who said UFOs have to be a perfect flying ship? Oh, okay, well, good point. We don't know. From agony to light, I saw a light like a star moving very slowly the other day. I went out for my phone to take a picture and it was gone. Maybe it's part of the same phenomena. At this point, I guess we can't say for sure that it was a meteor. It most likely was, but maybe those two events are related. Who knows? Nick A. Bacher says, I'd say it was heading towards southeast direction. Yes. That's what I was saying earlier. It came from the direction of northwest, and it was heading southeast. So, yeah. The haystack. We crashed most of our debris off the coast of Australia. China does not track their debris. Yeah, that's true. So maybe, who knows? Maybe it was like a Chinese something. It would be really crazy if some kind of like hostilities kicked off between us and another nation, and somebody's space asset just got shot down or something like that. Of course, I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's kind of an out there possibility. The world is kind of crazy right now. W3RD, okay, no, Word Core says, we saw something similar in Middle Missouri. Yeah, so this must, you know what? This must have been really high. It must have been really high up. Ken K. Trippy, just watched the short. It was in the sky a long time. Yeah. If you saw it in person, it was like very stunning. After the first few seconds where you're like, what is it, a plane? What am I looking at right now? And once you realize something weird is going on, it was very trippy. Stacy Sterling, I gotta disagree. It was too low to the ground. Well, I mean, okay, so I agree with you, Stacy, because like I really felt the same thing too. Like if I was to make a report, well, and I guess I am going to make a report. I'll make a report to the AMS. If they ask for that information, that's what I'm going to report, because that's what I measured, with my eyes. That's what it seemed like to me and to Jenica. So that's what I'll put. But I don't know how nighttime can distort your sense of perception. I mean, obviously it's dark outside, so that's one thing that you have going against you. Um, so I won't be surprised if it was really high up, but it definitely looked close to the ground. I will agree with you on that. Maverick, with my work, I see weird things I can't explain at night all the time. I just pretend I didn't see it and carry on. No, don't do that. Film it. And share it just with people that you trust that aren't going to make fun of you. Wired light, things moving faster than I am, meteor entering the atmosphere. Are you like a pilot or something? Or something like that? Cheryl Skews, Sun said Starlink sent something up today. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. Andrea Packard, I wonder where it'll finally hit, or if it'll stay in our atmosphere. Yeah. Cheryl Skews, North Korea sent up a rocket today too. I'm wondering if from here to North Korea, because like when you look at flight paths across the Atlantic, they don't go like when you're looking at a map like you're accustomed to. It's not like they go like straight fall. Like because the Earth is curved and you're dealing with a globe, it kind of maybe goes like a direction that you wouldn't think. And so what I'm saying is that'd be weird if from where I'm at, if a northwest course would take you to North Korea as it's following the curvature of the Earth. If that's what happened, then that's definitely going to make news. Michelle Tyler, I'm very sure it is the SpaceX Dragon capsule, if heading southeast. After watching the red, seems like a light. Janine Steele, does someone have the link to the short? I can't find it. Go to the homepage on my channel, and you'll see at the top there'll be like different things you can click on, like playlist, community, home, I think, live streams or live. Click on the one that says shorts, and it should be there. Jacques Luftus says, it may have been the AX-2 mission returning from ISS. They splashed down in the Gulf. Okay. Michelle Tyler agrees with Jackie Loftus. Sorry, I don't mean to mispronounce your name. I was just kind of being a little bit silly, but serious at the same time. But Jackie Loftus. Joke, fireballs usually fall to Earth around 200 to 400 miles per hour. Mike Lewis, regardless of what it is, ... it is a sign. Yeah. If it was a meteor, if it was a space capsule, if it was a rocket, if it was a whatever, the Lord works through natural means, and I'm still going to take it as a sign. It doesn't matter whether it was the suspension of natural laws or something like that. It's still a sign. Nicky Bacher agreed. It didn't look really far in the air for me either. You are describing it exactly as I saw it too. Supreme Wizard Tony, I watched an airplane with green/red lights flying from east to west paths at the same time, but it was moving, or it was above the clouds and moving at a similar speed. Yeah, and all those things were missing. Any typical aviation light that you would expect to see on an aircraft at nighttime, blinking lights, the red-green lights to indicate direction, landing lights, whatever. It didn't look like any of those. Melissa Liebert shared your short to my Facebook profile. Cool. CO2MC number 26. The first time I saw something creepy looking in the sky was my first time seeing the Starlink satellites. Yeah, and that was the case, I think, for Jenica and my girls, too. I wish I would have seen it. That was like probably back in... it was probably in 2017. I don't know. Nick A. Bacher, did you see the end of it, too? It ended while I was recording. No, I didn't see it. Because we were... we're on like this like country highway road type thing, paved, and we were in just like a slight dip, a slight hill, to where it obstructed my view of like the complete horizon. So we had to drive just a little bit, and by the time we did get up to where we could see the entire horizon, and believe me, it is completely flat where we're at right now. I can see as far as the eye can see. From our experience, like the way that we experienced it, we saw it go as far as we could possibly see it until the hill interrupted it. We drove, and then we didn't see it anymore. It was like it wasn't even there. Jax 8300, it was SpaceX. Supreme Wizard Tony, what I saw was silent, but the airplane could be heard for a while. All right, Marcellus 71C, see you later, then good night from Vegas. Jax 8300, the AX2 crew, splashdown off Panama City. Is it typical? So for that, like, is it typical to like have that kind of appearance? I don't doubt you. I don't doubt you. El Paculi, Jared, I did not get a video. I know others saw it though. I'm hoping to see it posted so that I can help validate their video. Can you post your 44-second video? Yeah, well, one person said that they already saw it and that they shared it to Facebook, so it should be up on my channel now. Just go to the shorts. I uploaded it under shorts. You know how there's like regular YouTube videos, but then there's shorts. It's like YouTube's way to kind of like compete with TikTok and Facebook stories and Instagram stories. It's that type of video, so it's under a different category. Go to shorts. Nick A. Bacher talking to Jax 8300. Did you hear it too? I heard a boom too. The boom was about 2 to 3 minutes after it vanished / burned out. So if there was a boom, and if that was like a space capsule, the Dragon X, I don't know if there's like a boom every time that you re-enter the atmosphere, like a sonic boom. So if there is, then obviously that kind of boom is acceptable, but hopefully there was not some kind of disaster. Matthew Hessler, wow, I just watched your short. Very interesting. The length of the tail is what gets me. Yeah, it was weird. Terry Goodman, sign of the Son of Man or random mad star? Well, at this point, it could be that the Dragon X. Not that I don't trust 8300. What was your name? Jax 8300. Not that I don't trust him. I just want to like verify it for myself. Either that or a meteor, but no, it wouldn't be the sign of the Son of Man, because the Son of the Sign of Man is going to come from the east, and this came from northwest. Maverick Jared, with your attention to detail, you can be my dispatcher anytime. All right, I'm probably gonna have to go. I can't believe I've already been going for 54 minutes, but this has been like a thing like I haven't experienced before. Whether it was Dragon X or a meteor, I've never seen anything like it. Could it still be a sign for me in my personal life? Yeah, of course it can. It came at an interesting time as me and Jenica were talking about personal things as we were driving, and it happened like just right at that time that we were talking about that stuff. So personally, I'll probably take it as a sign. I will be interested to see if there's any news about it tomorrow or when I check the AMS website. There's probably a lot of people that have reported it. It sounds like there were a lot of witnesses to it, and then hopefully we'll get more details at that time, and then I'll give you an update for anyone that's watching this and curious. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sleep well. Hope you have a good night to sleep. Wake up well in the morning. Have a good day tomorrow, and I'll see you then.